Well, here we are at the 2022 season launch of Outwell tents. There's absolutely tons here to see, so let's have a quick scoot around and have a look at what's new. Well, let's start off with a really big family tent. If you don't like inflatable tents, well, this one has a steel frame in it. And I know some of you out there are a little bit wary of getting an inflatable tent. Well, there are some steel pole options, especially on a tent this size. It is absolutely huge. You've got a little rain safe entrance. If I say little, there's nothing little about this tent. You've got a rain safe shelter at the front with a bit of a porch entrance there. You come into this zone here where you've got a ground sheet you can have up or down. We would tend to have this ground sheet, we'd have this up and have just the grass here because it makes it a lot easier for people to come and go, kids to come and go, discard their welly boots and shoes and things in this area, which keeps the inside tent in here nice, clean and dry. Now I've got this open here, but this is actually a door that can be zipped all the way across here, or you can have it fully open like we got shown here. There's also a door you can put on the front here and bug mesh on them too, so you can have lots of air flowing in and out the tent without the bugs and the insects. In here you've got a sewing ground sheet all the way. We've got a carpet on show here. You've got massive windows that you can zip up the blinds. One of the things about the zip up blinds is it's really quick and easy to close the curtains, but of course you can have them part way up. So something that we do first thing in the morning, we open the top to let the light in, but you can keep them part way up for extra privacy. In here you've got another door here with a porch on, and at the back here, well, it is a 7-person tent. You might not have 7 people in your family. You may just want somewhere that's plenty big enough for your family to have a good family camping holiday. And you have loads of bedroom space here. Got 3 separate bedrooms here. They're darkened too for a better night's sleep. And as you see from the middle bedroom, Mum and Dad can have plenty of space. Just look inside this bedroom here. You see there's plenty dark in here. I do have a light on the camera, but it's quite dark. At the back here, you've got a vent that you can toggle up or close down. Plenty of air through the vent outside, which again you can leave up or down. This we found gives plenty good light in the bedrooms in the daytime if you open this up, and plenty of ventilation. You definitely want lots of ventilation in a tent like this because it's surprising how much moisture a family gives off when they're sleeping in the tent at night. And sometimes moisture inside the tent, people think, oh no, it's leaking, but it can just come from the family breathing. But plenty of ventilation in here. There's ventilation around the tents as well, but these lower level vents hidden down here too. Of course, all got bug mesh on to keep the insects out, and of course you can have a door open with bug mesh like this, so on a hot day you can get plenty of airflow through this tent without the bugs coming in. But also you've got lots of things like this porch here to protect you if it does start to rain. So a really good big family holiday tent for all weathers. So we just looked at the Outwell Vermont 7PE, which is a big 7-person pole tent. And now we're going to look at the Outwell Knoxville 7SA, which is an inflatable tent. It's basically the brother or sister of the tent we just looked at, but inflatable. And this one here, the doors are still attached, so we can really show you inside what it looks like. And a lot of these design features are exactly the same on the poled version. This is the inflatable version. So you've got a really good choice here if you're after a big family tent like this. start from the outside on this one. We've got a big door on the outside. It's only halfway open, as we found when we using our 7-person tent, actually having the door halfway open is how we often had it. Created a little private shelter area here, but when it does go warm, you zip that all the way back and have this as one large porch. No ground sheet down in here at the moment, but it shows you can have this with a ground sheet down in here and close it all off. There's vents down here, there's zip up blinds here. Notice, you should mention all these windows, they're privacy windows, so you can see out quite well from the outside, but as you come to look, you can see out well from the inside of the tent. As you look in from the outside, it's harder to see in, so they're tinted and gives you a bit more privacy inside your tent. Again, massive porch area here, great place to sit. You can put some kitchen stuff in here, just keep this area well vented. Now there are some extra pockets here in the porch. We found this really good, great place if you put a chair here, for example, in the porch. Great place just to store a few bits and pieces. Got some over this side, and also a cable entry into the porch if you're running power in your tent and you need to run power out here, maybe to some cooking area or lighting and things like that, and that makes that really easy rather than having to go through the door. This door here has got bug mesh on here, so you can leave it like this, or you can close it up with some blinds. You can zip it up, you can unzip the door all the way and have it off like we saw in the other tent. And what it's got here, the quick and quiet doors, make it getting in and out of the tent really easy. And one of the things that's really good about these quick and quiet doors that we found with the bug mesh on the doors is they will close themselves down because they're weighted. And sometimes with tents where you have mesh on the doors, the kids come and go, doors don't always close and the bugs get in, but this is really easy for anyone to close the doors behind. Okay, so inside here, this hasn't got the carpet shown on this one, but you can see there's a 4-person table sat in the corner there. There's big windows, another huge side door there, another side door here. And you can see on the film, this has actually got the bug mesh down. So again, plenty of ventilation without those bugs coming in. Low vents, massive curtains, massive window rather, with zip up curtains here, and bedrooms here. Across here's one bedroom, another huge bedroom, another bedroom here. Actually, what we've got in here is the wheeled bag on here. The wheeled bag, which you can see how large this bag is. It's got a really generous zip size here to get the tent, roll the tent in and out. But these are heavy. One thing you got with inflatable tents is obviously everything fits in the one bag, whereas with a pole tent you can always separate the poles out into a separate bag, which can make them slightly easier to handle and manoeuvre. Now we get to a slightly smaller tent. PA is another power air range tent. It's an inflatable tent and 5 PAs for 5 people. Although really, family of 4, family of 3 even would have loads of space here. Again, it's a layout I really like on this tent. You've got this porch area here, which has got this door which you can enclose off, and then inside here, through the quick and quiet doors, you've got a generous sized living space. And inside the living space, you see it's quite big. It's got two huge side doors, one here complete with bug mesh. This one has got extra rain safe entrance on here. You've obviously got rain safe to the front. So with those mesh and ventilation, really good for warm weather with rain safe entrance, good if it rains as well. Really large tent here with living space, plenty of space for furniture. If you've got a family with say 2 young kids or a family of 3, you could use this as a holiday tent quite easily. You've got a good sized bedroom at the back. Now you can't see much on the camera, it's not coming out because they're so dark. They're darkened for better night's sleep. But you've got a bedroom here. This is a 3-person bedroom and a 2-person bedroom. Well, now we've just come to the next tent. This is the Avondale 6PA. So slightly different design on this one. This has got a fixed porch on the front, a bit of a shelter on the front there. Not quite as big as the shelter on the last, or the front zone on the last one. You've got the main door here. So you've got one less door, but what you lose in porch, you gain in living space. So if you need a tent that's got more interior living space and you're not so worried about such a large porch, then this could be an option. Again, you've got 2 sections here, two very large doors. On this one, it doesn't have the porch like on some of the other models. So this is where you can see some trade-offs with some tents compared to some more premium tents. Little differences in design. Storage pockets in here, storage pockets in the bedrooms, but you can see same layout of the bedrooms. So you've got a double and a huge double in the middle here. Again, so that's very, very similar. It gives you a different choice of layout, so slightly larger in terms of living space. In overall tent size, very, very similar, but if you didn't need quite so much porch space and you'd rather have a larger living space, we saw in some of the other bigger tents, like the 7-person tents, you fit a table in there, you can fit some other cupboards and stuff in here, which might suit you slightly better. I think it all depends on what sort of camping you want to do as a family. And just by way of comparison, we'll jump straight back into another 7-person tent. Again, we're featuring a lot of big family tents, but we will get to some smaller ones. So we're going to jump into this one here. Which is the Sundale 7PA. And very familiar if you've watched any of our videos, but it gives you a good idea. We just looked at the last tent here. This one's a much bigger tent, it's slightly longer, so we can see them side by side here. It's a bigger, longer tent. It's got a door on the side, front door on here, which should have completely unzipped or zipped up, and inner door here. This is unzipped at the moment, but there is a quick and quiet access here. You can watch that on our other video. Bug mesh, storage pockets, power into the porch. This one doesn't have zip-up blinds, or like some of the other, since this one's got toggle-up blinds. Again, you just need to look through the range. Have a look on our website. We've got comparison of all these features, where they've got toggle-up blinds, zip-up signs, and where they've got one section or 2 sections in the living space. We've got all that on our tent comparison, so you can have a look and work out really what's best for you. It's often a case, isn't it, of trading off features for money. More features, often more expensive, but also think about the type of camping you're doing. This tent here is ideal for family camping holidays where you're going to be a number of nights. You don't want to use a massive tent like this for just single night camping, because it is a big job to put up, and often you have lots of furniture. But if you're on a camping holiday, like you might have seen in our video where we've used Sundale 7PA, you'll see there's plenty of space in here for furniture, for sitting and eating. We had a fully electric hob and stove which you put in here. Inside there was no flames, so it was safe inside here. We used living space outside as well. as living space inside, and huge bedrooms. We had a massive amount of space, and because on one trip we only had our one child came with us, because our others are a little bit older now, and so we were able to fully utilize this space as one massive bedroom for me and Shell. And that's a good sized bedroom. That's a double bedroom, so that's a good size there. So this is a really good comparison. Again, you've got the doors on the side with the ventilations and bug mesh. Now, one thing we often get asked is whether you can get additional inner tent for some of these tents, and you can't. You haven't been able to. I've suggested a lot of time the pop-up tents are really good. Well, now you can get a freestanding inner. So in that tent we just looked at with the wing lounge over there, you could put this in if you need an extra bedroom, or if you've got a large living space. And it's darkened inside. It's got ventilation mesh. You could also use it outside, of course, if you need a little pop tent. But yeah, it's a handy little addition. And of course, one of the things we found with COVID, of course, a lot of facilities at campsites are being closed. And even if they're open, a lot of them are reduced. You can only use every other sink or every toilet and everything else. And sometimes going to the toilet, if you're pitched far away, can be inconvenient. Well, here's Outwell's new, what they call it, a Sea Haven Comfort Station. So this is a single toilet. As you see, it's pretty sturdy with steel frames. You can keep this pitch for a while. It's a toilet cubicle and also shower cubicle. So you can put things in here. This is got a little window at the top for light as well, but this should apparently work also with one of those solar showers. So you've got the lights coming in, put the solar shower up here, you've got a hook on the top, let that heat up with the light coming through, and you'll get some warm water in here. Of course, toilet on the bottom, you've got a little towel rail here. So that's all in one. If you really want to go deluxe and really setting up your holiday camp and you want your own facilities, well, this is the double. And this one has towel rail, shower hanging facilities, as well as the excellent quick and quiet doors into here that doesn't. So this side is the toilet or changing side, and this side you can have as a shower. So if you really want to up your camping accessory game, then this is certainly an addition in these COVID times that you might want to think about getting. Okay, so let's get back to looking at some of the massive family tents. And if you've got a big family or you want lots of space for your camping holiday, well, this is an 8-person monster of a tent. Look at this. It's the Outwell Queensdale 8PA. And you'll see a lot of the things that I've already talked about in some of the other tents in here. So you've got a huge front opening. You can have completely open like this, but as you can see, there's a door on the side here. So you can have that completely enclosed. We've got a porch area here with the ground sheet up. Again, you can have the ground sheet toggled in. But we have it up like this, as I mentioned before, and showing a kitchen unit in here. And as I mentioned before, this is a great place to actually put things like that outside of the main tent. So there's plenty of ventilation here if you've got a gas unit like this. Storage pockets in here, more storage pockets in here, and cable entry. Toggle up lines on this one, not zip up lines. Right, now we get to the main part of the tent. We've got a quick and quiet door. Again, you can unzip the doors if you don't want them there, but I'd recommend keep them there with the bug mesh like this. You've got a quick and quiet doors. You've got a zip up line on this one, so zip that one up, and we come in at the back. Now, similar arrangement to some of the other large tents. Here's the layout at the back. You got very large double there, double bedrooms that Can be unzipped, made bigger. You've got blind at the back, you can untoggle, storage pockets, and you've got this additional bedroom around here. So obviously this eats into your living space a little bit, but there's a huge amount of living space here, especially with the outdoor porch zone here. You've got two massive doors on the sides, but you've also got this additional bedroom. Now this of course can be untoggled. You don't have this, can have this up, you can just have as living space. But if you're like our family now with older children, they don't always come or can't always come at the weekends with you, or can't always come on all the holidays, but sometimes we'll do on others. So this gives you that sort of option where you've got the flexibility now of having a tent where you can either have it with fewer people or you can have it with more people. But you might say, well, actually, I like this cupboard anyway because I can put shelves in here, cupboards in here for clothes changing and all this sort of stuff in here. Zip that up and they're completely out of the way. Keeps my tent nice and tidy. So lots of options, slightly different design to some of the others. So you get the same sort of setup. This slightly smaller tent, this is an ideal one, I think. This can serve as weekends and holiday. It's not too big for just 1 or 2 nights to pitch. Could be used as a holiday depending on the size of your family. As you come in here, you've got this wet dry zone here. Again, ground sheets not down on this one here. This, now we'd have it. Huge porch area here. You can have this door unzipped, of course, so just have this as one big open porch, or you can zip it up. If you come back here, we've got the living area. Now this too has a door. It's just unzipped at the moment, and it can unzip and tack away into this little pouch here, so it's completely open up. But of course you can have this zipped up, so you've got your inner tent zone here. Only got a single door on this one. Big door open in with bug mesh too here, so plenty of ventilation. And at the back, similar layout to the other 6 bedroom tents that we've seen. So you've got the two, slightly larger here in this one. So this is a good one as well. If you want a bit of space for your weekend camping, you still want a very large tent for a weekend camp. This will be going to be a little bit easier to manage than some of the huge ones. But got plenty of space as well for longer camping holidays. And you can also get the tent extension too. If you are planning to get a tent extension, I recommend buying that when you buy the tent, just to make sure you've got it rather than leaving it a year or 2 later when the extension may no longer be available for the tent. And give you an example, this is what one of the tent extensions looked like. On the front of a tent here, this is a universal tent extension. You get them in different size. Each tent says what size extension goes with it, and the universal extension fits on. And you see it just wraps over the front of the tent and clips to the extension points at the back here. So this tent would normally end around here, but with the extension it's a lot bigger. So you've got effectively a tent that's good enough for the weekends, not too big, but then you can bolt this on if you're on a camping holiday. Let's have a look inside at this, and here we go. So this shows you the extra area that you've got on this tent with the extension. Mesh screen here as well, can be zipped up. Extra side door as well on the front there, and another window here, so you can see this adds quite a bit of space to your tent. So it's another option. You either get a tent with this all built in, or you get a tent with an extension so you can use it for those times you do need the extra space, but then not have to take this extra bit when you go weekend camping. So let's have a look back in here. This is the Montana 6PE. P is poled on this one, and again you've got this inner door here. Well, this would be the outer door, but because we've got the extension, it's like an inner door. So if you wanted the extra zone, you've got it. Bug mesh here. You've got the main windows here, main doors and windows here. You can obviously zip that or have it like this, as we've got in this configuration here. Back here, one of the things it's got is this extra side area. Now, on this side porch here, it's a rain-safe porch. You can come in, it's another place you can leave welly boots and things like that. But it does have blinds that cover all of this area, and I know plenty of people use this to put a camping toilet. So if you wanted to have your own toilet and a little sink in here, you can do, and you have that just off the main sleeping area. It's 6 person, there's a 3-person bedroom, 3-person bedroom, but typically a family of 4 maybe, with mum and dad in one, kids in the other, or is what we sometimes do, just unzip, roll them up and just have one big family bedroom. So this is a nice tent. Again, darkened bedrooms, vents at the back which you can toggle and close, storage pockets, all the usual things you'd expect. Extra vents hidden at the bottom there. Lighting in here as well, just show you this has got the hook track system. So these tents all have the hook track system, so these little clips toggle in place for a bunch of accessories. Really hard to do whilst I'm holding my phone to take this video. Okay, I've just broken the display. But yes, so those just clip on into place on here, on this beading that goes around the side. And this is one of the lights that you can get to hang up. There's lots of different lights. This is a shorter one, you can get one that's longer now. Just adds extra bit. Light in here, no dangling lantern here to bang your head on. So yeah, it's Montana. Montana's obviously a popular Outwell tent, it's been around for ages, various guises. As with many of the other tents, you've got this huge porch area here. Despite being poly cotton tents, you've still got storage pockets on here. This is a real, if you really want that traditional tent feel, and the extra insulation this gives you as well. It is noticeable when it's warm or cold, the difference this makes. Big windows on the side, these are zip up ones here. Again, these are all cotton too. Look, plenty of light, plenty of space in here. Let's go through here, through the quick and quiet doors. And again, these doors have got their blinds zipped down. Here you've got the bug mesh on, you can see that. So here, open ventilation, and then inside here, you've got a huge amount of space. You've got a massive table in here as well. Huge space, doors either side, massive windows. And again, they're all the tinted windows for privacy. Blinds that you can roll up or zip up part way up to give you an extra bit of privacy. Space wise at the back, similar to before, we got the two with the bigger one in the middle. Here we're showing with the camp bed. One thing to note with a lot of these Outwell tents, the backs are designed so they don't slope. Sometimes if you're putting in camp beds and the back of your tent slopes, you end up with your head being covered in fabric. These are all designed so they work really well with camp beds, and that's certainly an upgrade that's worth doing if you can afford it and you can manage to get them to the site. Here we've got more quick and quiet doors. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Here's the main bedroom. So sitting out to the other. Now what we've got. which you can see is the same tent, but in a smaller package. You get less living space. It's an ideal weekender tent, or maybe if you've only got one child, but you still want that canvas feel. Again, pulled here, steel poles on this as well. And here, very thick, strong steel poles. So yeah, another really nice looking tent. So there we go, new tents for this year. Lots of different designs and things to choose from. Again, if you're having trouble, use our tent comparison feature on the website. Hopefully we're going to have another good year's camping, no more lockdowns, and plenty of chance to get outside and enjoy the great British countryside. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what you've seen, want to comment on anything, don't like what you've seen, please leave a comment below. I'll see you soon.